Wrestling fans from around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Maurice.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way.
Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes. That's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. Your coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey. Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask, inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. It's Bang! $316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
Green Bay on Friday, December 7th. Be a part of the hype as NXT Live brings the action. See the hottest NXT superstars, including NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Aleister Black, NXT Women's Champion Kairi Sane, EC3, Johnny Gargano, North American Champion Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and many more live. It's NXT Live in Green Bay on Friday, December 7th. Tickets are available.
Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One, and this,
finally, The Rock has come back,
is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment.
See The Rock. Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking.
The World of The Rock. Available now.
St. Paul on Saturday, December 8th. Be a part of the hype as NXT Live brings the action. See the hottest NXT superstars, including NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Aleister Black, NXT Women's Champion Kairi Sane, EC3, Johnny Gargano, North American Champion Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and many more live. It's NXT Live in St. Paul on Saturday, December 8th. Tickets are available.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Hanson on one big jump. And Hanson wipes out O'Reilly. Warbeard.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. Dan Maurice, joined by longtime MWF associate, Mr. Dave Carter. Dave, the skies are cleared tonight.
Yes, they are.
The blizzard of
no work
2018 has dissipated. You know, we saw some of the footage of what it was like outside here at MWF.
You know what it comes down to is you have jokes. That's the only problem. You have jokes instead of asking questions.
We're glad you were able to make it safe.
Yeah, definitely. You didn't think I wanted to be here last week.
It accumulated to 1/10 of an inch. It was a dangerous night here in Melrose.
Well, when you're in the business I'm in, sometimes you have to go plowing, and that's what happened. So.
Well, you know what? That's what you say on Grindr, so I can appreciate
here we go
that.
enough.
You do have to do your plowing.
Okay.
Anyway, and on top of that, we got holiday headlocks going. Wait till you see some of the great NXT items that WWE sent us.
Tons
a
of
pay-per-view
stuff.
chair and autographed posters, and it's just the list goes on and on. You got to head on over to BostonWrestling.com. We got to get to the headlines.
Yes, definitely.
What do we got?
Well, you want to do the headlines, or we're going to go over War Games and stuff?
Well, you know what? Why don't we go through War Games? Then?
All right.
The match beyond.
Yeah.
Our good friend, the Little Dutch
Because I
boy.
wasn't here last week. We're going to just do the pay-per-view. So let's Let's go over those.
Well,
First,
the Dutch boy didn't understand what War Games was. I had to explain it to him.
You explained it to him?
I did.
Did he watch it?
I don't think he understood my WCW version of it because the rules changed a little in the WWE version.
Right, they definitely did.
There was no roof, and it was not only by submission.
Oh,
so I was off a little bit if you watched
I thought the same thing. All right. But yeah, I thought the same thing too. It was way different. All right, so we kicked it off with Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. And the crowd was really hot for the match. They love Matt Riddle. Like you said, you don't know if it's going to end up being successful in the WWE on the main roster, but at least in NXT right now, it's a sign that the crowd likes it. It was good, but it was so fast. The knee to the face, boom, out.
So all it needed to be was executed to perfection.
So you liked it, okay.
Got the guy over. I don't think there's anything they're going to be able to do with Ono long term. That's just my opinion. But
he's just so out of shape now.
Riddle has a chance. He's got a great look. He's got great charisma. He's got that MMA background. My only question is, are the promos going to work on a
He's the king
national?
of bros.
I don't care about that.
Oh.
Is his promo ability going to translate in WWE on Raw and SmackDown? Is his size and in-ring work going to translate? I don't know. But as of right now, it works perfect. Couldn't have been done better.
Right. I definitely agree. And, the size thing, I don't know, the way they keep on signing guys, no one's big they're signing. I think his size is definitely not going to hold him back at all. I mean, they don't sign anybody big anymore. They're all normal-sized guys. The three they just signed.
I don't know where the big guys went.
I know. Other than, well, we'll talk about that after. Next was the NXT Women's Championship match. Kairi Sane, 2 out of 3 fall. How did you feel about it?
It wasn't
Shayna
bad.
Baszler.
I feel like I've seen that one a few times now.
I mean, they work great together, but like you said, we have seen it. We've seen it at the last one.
Didn't they have that in New Orleans and Brooklyn?
That's what I was just going to say.
I was at both of those live,
and
so that may be why I feel that way. But it was good. I don't think Sane is going to be someone that's going to translate on WWE television.
I think
she's too frail.
Yep.
The match was fine for what it was.
I like how it ended up being. She did her elbow drop, and as she did the elbow drop, Shayna Baszler converted into the roll-up to get the 3. I thought it was a little different to win the match. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was good execution.
Whoever the agent was or producer was for that match, they did a good job.
And I just want to point this out. Then they showed X-Pac in the crowd with his dog, and I know you like his dog, so...
I tell you, his poor dog's mouth has been open more than some of your grinded dates.
Okay, here we go.
But I tell you this, a tip of the hat to X-Pac.
Remember, what he says about that stuff, don't pay any attention to. He just likes to poke a little fun.
All right.
Because I can't be getting in trouble.
Some of the emails we get about that. But X-Pac found that dog in the road.
Really?
Yes, he didn't adopt it from an agency. He found it homeless, and I guess it was beaten. And that's why the mouth is kind of stuck open.
Wow,
I think, though, and I don't mean this maliciously in case X-Pac sees it, but, maybe if he put a rubber band around the snout, maybe you'd think the mouth would get kind of dry, always being open.
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on was probably, if not the match of the night, the second best of the match, which was Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black.
Very good.
I thought it was hot hitting. If you didn't know it was a work, you would think that was a real executed match. Like those hits, everything.
The only difference is in real fights, Johnny Gargano wouldn't be slapping his leg. But other than that.
Well, like I just said, if you didn't know it was a work, like it was awesome. It was awesome visual on TV. Probably being there was even more exciting because the crowd was hot for it. Oh my God, I was hot. I was on the edge of my seat. I thought that match was executed perfectly. I don't know how you felt about it. I mean,
it was very good. I'm confused with Gargano in the heel role. I really don't see the need for it. I don't think it's the best idea. But as far as the match itself and the presentation, it was very good.
Yeah, I definitely, and the crowd was into it. That's what I love is when the crowd.
Much like Daniel Bryan, I don't see why that guy would be pushed as a heel.
Which one are we talking about? Gargano?
Both of them.
Oh.
It's almost like, well, they did it on SmackDown. Why don't we
try
they're
it changing. Aleister Black's supposed to be the face in Gargano because he's the one who attacked.
No, I realize that,
okay.
But I don't think Gargano should be presented as a heel. I don't think the people are going to boo him.
Yeah, I don't think so either because people love his story. I mean, the way they built him out for so long and then you just turn him out. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Too many similarities between all the different storylines. Right. You have 2 small baby faces on NXT and SmackDown. The 2 top baby faces turning heel. You have angles with chairs on both Survivor Series and then on SmackDown. It's almost like one creative team sees one and they want to grab it.
I kind of feel how you'll feel about Gargano, but how do you feel about Black? Do you think he'll be something on the main roster when he gets called up?
Only thing I could see holding him back from being used on Raw or SmackDown the way he is in NXT is his thickness. He's not as thick as a guy his size as they'd like him to be. As you said, it's a different day and age. It's not all about that bulk and the thickness, but WWE has shown they want their top elite guys to look a certain way.
Right. Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
I like his character. I like his entrance. I like his work. I wouldn't have him talk. I think that kind of takes away from it.
Okay.
I think maybe if he spoke in small amounts, if he spoke softly, I would like to see that.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I think totally. I agree with that.
He's got a fighting shot. He's
Yeah.
doing real well in WWE.
Definitely.
Maybe more than a fighting shot. I just think if he got a little thicker and the promos were just kind of dialed back, I liked it when he didn't speak at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unless he gets better promos, I totally agree.
Doesn't need to sing.
No.
He doesn't need to dance. He doesn't need to tell jokes. And you know that happens a lot of the time once they make it to Raw and SmackDown.
Yes, they do.
Aleister Black doesn't need that.
No, I hope they don't change that. Moving on was the NXT Championship match, which was Velveteen Dream, your friend, and actually two friends, Tommaso Ciampa, too. Go ahead, say it.
One of them I like very much. The other one, I don't think I'd shed too many tears if they dropped dead. But, you know, aside from that, excellent championship match.
Awesome.
Tommaso's work is some of the best you'll see in any era of professional wrestling from any professional wrestler. I'm very proud of everything he's done where he cut his teeth for many moons here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. He's a good human being. I didn't get to know him as well as some of the others we've had here in the MWF, but I respected his work ethic. I respected his dedication to the craft. I respected the fact that Tommaso had a set of balls on him like a man that would actually pick the ball sack up and go out to Missouri and train with Harley Race, or go out to Ohio and train in WWE's developmental system. You have so many losers that work on the independents nowadays. You know, the ones, oh, I don't want to do anything on Sunday. Sundays are the days independent wrestlers spend with their girlfriends. Well, you know what? That's the difference between someone that wrestled on NXT TakeOver and an independent guy that watched TakeOver on the network.
Right.
So I applaud Tommaso Ciampa for everything he's done this year. And in the past decade plus, he was crushed when WWE got rid of him, when he was a developmental talent. And instead of becoming a pussy and a baby about it, he went out and continued to work hard. He traveled. He did everything right to get the opportunity he's getting right now in NXT, which is one of the elite presentations of any professional wrestler in the world right now.
I totally agree.
As far as the other one goes,
oh boy.
See, no, I'm not going to go there because I don't like Patrick. Patrick still owes me an apology. Someday maybe, I know it's out there online, but I'll get into the whole story again, but I will get riled up if I tell it.
Yeah.
I will say this, for the good of professional wrestling, in the good of professional wrestling fans, I'm very happy that Velveteen Dream is doing as well as it is. It's a character that the people really enjoy. The matches are good. It's creative. It's something different.
And he's putting a little bit of Hulk Hogan in there too with the Boa,
I don't get
the Hollywood.
that, but
I don't either, but I think it's the crowd likes it, and you know, I don't know what it is. I don't understand. He hasn't said much about it, but I just think it's kind of cool.
Maybe he's getting a little shot in at the Hulkster, because remember on Tough Enough, when he was a judge, he said,
you know what, and that could be
Gotta
too.
stop doing that smart
Right.
thing, brother.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
It's interesting, but
Maybe someday Patrick and I will break bread again.
right, you guys will shake hands and call it a day,
All I
right?
want really is an apology. But when
Hey.
someone wastes your time,
Yeah, I
your
know.
money, goes back on their word after you spend a lot of time promoting an appearance, a match, a scenario, you don't back out on it.
Yeah, no, you don't do somebody wrong.
The complete opposite of my good friend, Leo Rush, a man I respect, a man I enjoyed visiting with at Kowloon last month at the, what was that, WWE house show they had that night, and after something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Both came from the exact same spot. Tag team partners. Leo beat Patrick to the main roster. He's with Bobby Lashley now. You know, he hit a bump in the road with some of the comments he made on social media about Emma after her release. But you know what? He's in a great spot right now. And hopefully, you know, maybe I was told by some of my friends in NXT that Patrick received it pretty rough when he first got there as a result of our incident. But I hope he's learned from it, and I hope he continues to contribute in a great positive way to the king of sports professional wrestling, no matter what my personal thoughts may be.
Tommaso won the match, and everything had a reason, too, behind it. I loved it, and it was just unreal. Like, you thought it was over, and it wasn't. You thought it was over, and it wasn't. I thought it was a great match.
Let me tell you this. If you rewound the MWF tape library to 2007, was it a good call to make him the $1 million investment, Tommaso Ciampa? He's someone that's worth investing $1 million in right now. He's that good.
Definitely. I definitely agree. I can't argue it. I love him. I love watching him work. His promos, everything about him is good. Even
right here in this studio, he did some excellent promo
Even his
work.
entrance music's off fire. I love it.
Yeah. When he, I don't know if all the fans at home may know this, but we actually had a Daniel Bryan come to the Millennium Wrestling Federation in 2011 when he was the United States champion. And Tommaso was personally picked to compete in that match by us because he deserved it. He didn't fit into that category of losers that I described earlier. And again, I have all the respect in the world for Tommaso. And I'm glad he's doing so well. And he's a paisan. That doesn't hurt.
There you go. We're going to move on to the War Games match.
Hey,
we know who it was.
talking.
It was Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders and Pete Dunne and Ricochet. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought it was a good match. I just wish it was more like WCW's version, but they changed it up. It wasn't bad. I thought it was great. Some of the great spots. Oh, my God. How good was Hanson, though? Oh, some of those spots. Oof. Unbelievable. He's awesome, man.
How happy could I be sitting
Oh, that's
there
why I want
watching
you to
that?
talk about it. That's why I said.
You know, I don't want to...
let me just say, the big splash through the table. Him do. Oh, my God. Go ahead.
We
I just
had
wanted
an
to say
exchange through texts earlier that day, and he told me I was going to be proud. Let me tell you something, brother. I was proud. You talk about someone, again, that went about doing things the right way. There were losers and complete and utter failures in the New England wrestling scene, we'll call it, that thought he was well-suited to be this handsome character that walked around with a mirror and all this complete and utter bullshit that anyone over the age of 6 or wasn't mentally challenged would enjoy. I always enjoyed the presentation we had of him here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, which was a badass, kick-ass champion. And what is his presentation that brought him the most success?
Badass, kick-ass.
It was not a joke with the mirror that they wanted to make a sports entertainer. It was that badass, kick-ass wrestler. The thing that Todd added to complete the presentation was that giant beard, like what Fluffy Guerrero's got a little down south. That's a different story for a different time. But now again, Todd, Warbeard as we'll call him now, he's on video games. They're scanning him for action figures. He's going to have a new T-shirt coming. And he's in the main event at the Los Angeles Staples Center the night before Survivor Series.
Awesome.
How cool is that? Stealing the show. The big man, you know, he does a couple of things I wish he didn't even do. I guess he likes to call it 305 live on social media. I don't know if that suits him all that much, but that's one man's opinion.
Yeah.
But you know what? On a 10 out of 10, he was a 9.5. That was his night.
Oh, it was awesome.
And he wasn't the only one that looked good in that match.
No, I mean, there was great spots everywhere, and it was a great match, but...
It was one of the great... I don't know if I want to say it was one of the great moments of my life, but it was certainly one of the best moments of 2018 that I'll always remember. And certainly within wrestling, it was one of the great moments of the 25 years I've been involved with wrestling. I was able to enjoy it, not through someone that quote-unquote works in the business. I was just able to look at it, I should say, as someone that enjoyed what they were seeing. And to be so proud of him. Again, a lot of people don't know this, but I mean, Warbeard Hanson used to help me babysit the oldest of the little two Marathis.
Wow.
One of the very few people that was ever allowed in that home. So Todd and I, we've had a long, long, long relationship, and hopefully it'll only continue to be bigger and better things for him.
That's awesome. So you must have felt good seeing him in that kind of
Good
match.
isn't even the word. It was a very strange feeling. He has his own father and his own brother. I don't want to put myself in that position, but him and I have just always had a very interesting relationship. I've known Todd since 2001. He did the ring on the very first few MWF events before he became a wrestler with them. I worked with him in real life. He had a job where Linda Moratti and I were for a long period of time. He's someone that I interacted with every day. Okay. When I became physically disabled, he was someone that came to see me once or twice a week. So it's just a different relationship than I've had with a lot of the guys that have wrestled in the MWF, and that's why I'm so ecstatic with what he's doing right now. And that not only am I happy he's doing very well, he's doing it the way that I envisioned, as opposed to the bullshit that he was saddled with for so long that wanted him to be some kind of a comedy routine.
Right.
Again, that's why those people were watching it on the network, and Todd was wrestling on the event, and Tommaso was wrestling on the event.
Makes sense. The War Raiders, Pete Dunne and Ricochet won the match. It was a great match. You had Ricochet do that big flipperoo off the top of the... That was onto everybody. That was pretty cool, too. But like we were talking about, but that was the event, NXT War Games. It was good. It was a good match. I definitely think the crowd loved it. I loved it at home. I think the audience probably loved it. I mean, they don't give you those kind of numbers and anything, but I think it was very well taken in. Yeah. Thanks to WWE, we had a couple of guests there from our Los Angeles branch of Boston Wrestling Sports. They enjoyed the comps, even though we weren't there. They said it was just about filled to capacity. Awesome. Hot from start to finish. Very different atmosphere than the other three shows that night.
because it's, a different type audience that'll go to an NXT type show. So I love what they do with the takeovers. I don't know if I'd ever want to see them expand them as far as the quantity, but I wouldn't mind seeing them go to 3 hours.
Okay.
Maybe add another match.
Wow, you're actually saying add a match. Okay. Usually it's take some off. I like that. Good.
Because
I think the same thing.
They always leave you wanting more.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't think of anything else right now in any way, shape, or form that leaves me wanting more.
Right. I get you. Yeah, I totally get you. Moving on, we had WWE Survivor Series the next night, and that was a good event. We'll go over it. The only thing I want to talk about the kickoff real quick is when Lashley debuted with the vest on. Because we weren't here. Remember he had the vest on? Did you see the kickoff? He had the vest on. How do you feel about him wearing that? Do you like it? I don't know. I think it adds a little something to his character. Yeah. And the glasses, just a different look. Instead of him just coming out with his headband on, I don't know. I think having the sunglasses and the vest on.
The one thing about Bobby Lashley, to get him over as a stronger heel, I'd have him cheat more. I think I've said that before.
Leo gets involved.
Is there really a difference between his in-ring presentation from when he was a face and when he was a heel?
Other than Leo getting involved? No.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just talking strictly in-ring presentation.
Yeah.
He poses now and he does that, and that's fine, but I'd like to see him cheat more. I think that would do more for him than a vest and sunglasses.
Okay, and then on the kickoff show, we had the Raw 10-man tag team match versus the SmackDown, which was, let me go over it, SmackDown New Day, Gallows and Anderson, the Colognes, Sanity, and the Usos versus the Raw team, which was the Revival, the Ascension, B-Team, Lucha House Party, and Rude and Gable, who were the captains.
AKA the main event program on WWE Network.
There you go.
I mean, I was really impressed with how hard they all worked.
Yeah,
for a match that people had zero interest in. I mean, you talk about a team that was just filled with afterthoughts. That Raw tag team was atrocious. And to me, it showed how strong the SmackDown side was, grouping them all together like that. I still think there's a lot of potential in the Colognes, even though they've repackaged them already a couple of times. They're very, very good. Usos and New Day speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I was happy that the Revival made it to the end. They kind of put the spotlight on them and the Usos for the first time, and when those were the last two teams, that was an excellent match. As good as anything on the pay-per-view, in my opinion. And then, to skip ahead a little, what happened the next night on Raw and then the week after on Raw?
Right.
They made them look like idiots against Lucha House Party.
Exactly, and they did
it's
the
like,
joke.
why bother? Why bother to make Revival look good at Survivor Series? And if you're going to go in that route with Lucha House Party, why make Lucha House Party job out early in the match at Survivor Series? Yeah, that's why no one gets over strong.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Usos won, like you said, for SmackDown, and that was the only
match.
And that was the only SmackDown win of the night. But they didn't even pay attention to it. Remember, they didn't even count it.
Well, it technically wasn't part of the Survivor Series.
Yeah, I guess so. You're right. But yeah, that was the only.
Hey, if every pre-show match was that good, I'd tune into them more.
Right, I get it. And then we kicked off the actual Survivor Series pay-per-view with Raw vs. SmackDown's women's match, which we had SmackDown's was Mandy Rose, Asuka, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and Carmella versus the Raw team, which was Mickie James, Tamina, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, which Tamina and Nia is Bundy and Stud.